This is a story about a hotel brand. Now let's cut forward to March 2020. This is a story about the same hotel brand during the worst time in history. Not only were people stranded outside Hong Kong with limited means to return home, but tourists were no longer allowed to come at all. It had already been a tough year for Hong Kong due to the ongoing civil unrest in the second half of 2019. The last thing Hong Kong needed was to be cut off from the rest of the world. But before long came the first shot at redemption.
This was our first shot at being a quarantine hotel.
That's right, Josie. Most hotels didn't want anything to do with quarantine because they were worried about the stigma that came with being a quarantine hotel.
We never considered the stigma of being a quarantine hotel as a barrier. Instead, it was a fact that something in Hong Kong was missing, a way to bring people back home with dignity and with an incredible quarantine experience. What did we have to lose?
Just like with anything great, there was a lot of trial and error.
At first it was pretty tricky. No one wanted to work for a quarantine hotel. I, in fact, started helping out in the beginning with the team to get rooms sorted. We had procedures in place, we got the right equipment, we made sure the whole place was safeguarded, and we were good to go.
After we shook off our training wheels, our new and improved quarantine experiences thrived. This is when a number of new initiatives were introduced, where guests could join happy hour from the comfort of their own rooms, and OCDC, or Obsessive Commitment to Deep Cleaning. Get the picture?
So when it comes to quarantine hotels, we want to do things the Ovlo way. We did not shy away from taking risk or pushing the envelope because it was all about our guests, our residents of Hong Kong, to have a better experience.
There's a reason why some hotels will give you cup noodles and why Ovlo will give you 28 meal choices.
Or why we include puzzles.
Or why we do daily happy hour for our guests.
As quarantine went on, they soon noticed the financial and mental impact that it had on people. So after a trip back to the drawing board and a team huddle, the Homecoming Project was born.
The idea for the Homecoming Project was quite simple, really. Let's bring our people back home.
This meant providing $1 per night quarantine stays to those unable to return home due to the high costs.
Homecoming had a big impact when it was announced, and people from all over were reaching out to see what they could do to help us in our efforts. It reminded us that as a city, that we're a collective.
As we shoot this video, Ovlo Hotels have been accommodating quarantine guests for 2 years.
We're a hotel brand, not just because we think it's hip and cool. We exist as a hotel brand because
Everyone here thrives on hospitality and good times.
And to be frank, it was just our time to shine.
So how has Ovlo come to be the quarantine experience?
It's because we give a
It doesn't matter how many waves Hong Kong will endure through this pandemic. Ovlo will continue to lead the way.
I know what you're thinking. What on earth will we do next? Step aside and watch us.